Okay guys, today I'm going to show you this basin. It's like a marble form type basin, very similar to a lot of them in the market these days. This one here is the Claybrook brand, and what I'm going to do is show you how to get a mark or a scratch out of it. This one hasn't actually got anything wrong with it, but it's brand new. So I'm going to just tip it over, and you can see this one here is actually, when I say it's brand new, it's a display model, so you can see there's lots of scratches on here. So we're going to get those out because the whole thing is sort of the same material on the outside. It has got an inner core that's also stone, but the actual outside colour is, it could be anything from 5 to 3 to 2 mils thick depending on where it is in the basin. So what we're going to do is we've got a sanding block, and we've got some 600 sandpaper. I've got a rag, and we're going to wet sand it. So I've got a hose here on my table, and we're going to go to it. Right, so first what you do is just wet it, give it some wet, and so that's pretty much what it will turn out like. You can see that if you wet it, it's almost like putting a clear coat on it. It's like putting a coating, like a clear coat on a car. And so what we're going to do is wrap that round the block there and go to it. So you can just do it in a circular motion, so you're not doing it in one place the whole time. So I'm going to do it for about half a minute or so and see how it turns out. So these scratches are pretty deep in the base of this thing, because it's been pushed around all sorts of different tops, and probably maybe even set down on the floor while someone was sorting a few things out. But basically the long and short of it is that this was quite badly scratched up on the bottom, as you could see. So I'm just going to give it a few more seconds of love. Right, and then you can see that's almost got all those scratches out. There's another quite a deep one here. I'll show you, clean that off. Maybe I'll just wipe it a bit further to dry it out, and then I'll show you a bit closer to the camera. So you can see those scratches are still there, a small amount, but most of them are pretty much gone. You can see how it's gone quite a matte colour. So we're just going to hit it again. Wash my sandpaper down. So if I just carry on and do this for about another minute or so, you just have to watch, don't stay in one place the whole time. You shouldn't go through it because it's quite a thick coating, but it's just more the fact of trying to get that very top few microns off where the scratch is, because usually scratches look very deep, but they're not actually as deep as what you think they are. So they can be got out quite easily. So put it for a few more seconds. Try and go down the side here. And if you've got a point where it's like on a curved surface, you can just do it with your hand. The reason why I like using a block is that you're not staying in one place like that and creating a divot, which is like a dip. So this one here, this is the part here that's really deep. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that some real harsh sand. There we go. So it doesn't take much, especially with the 600 sandpaper. Right, and then so that we don't have any inconsistencies, we'll just hit it again right the way around so that it cleans it all up and levels it out a bit. Pretty good. A few more scratches in there. If you're going to do it in one place for any amount of time, that's fine, but just make sure you hit it around in a larger area just to smooth out that piece that you've just done. Like that. Righto, for the sake of the exercise, I'm going to stop at that. It looks pretty good to me. That was quite badly scratched, as you saw in the first part of the video. And I'll just let that dry. Pretty good, and it's like a flat colour now. So there's two things we can do. What I would do normally here in the workshop, I've got a machine polisher. So a machine polisher will very quickly bring that back up to a nice sheen again. But we're going to do it by hand, so we can see it's able to be done DIY. So here we go. So now what I've got is 1200. So we've doubled the grip, and normally what I would do is put a rag behind it, just so that it's a fairly sort of a soft contact pad. So we'll just fold this into like about there. Just put that in there like so. And take a little bit more material off, but more just basically fining it up so that we're going to end up with a higher sheen. You can tell it's taking a little bit of material off because it's getting a bit dirty. Also the grit on the sandpaper is slightly sacrificial as well, so that'll be half the reason why it's getting a bit dirtier. For basically, well, less than a minute really. See what it looks like. Greg. Okay, so that's fined it up a whole lot. So we look at it as compared to the rest of it, it's still a bit of a matte finish. So now we do the next step, which is polish. So firstly, what I'm going to do it with half of it with the machine polisher, so you can see the job that does, and then I'm going to do some real labour intensive hand polishing. So what I've got here is just a high effect that I get from an automotive shop, and so we'll just put a little bit of that on. Doesn't really matter how much you put on, give it a shot. Yeah, I may have actually shined it up a little bit more than what it's originally like, but you can get the idea. So that's quite glossy now, which I could always matte it off with a bit of coarser polish. So basically you can do anything with these things, it's just how much time you spend on them and how much you want to get out or put into it, I guess, as far as the sheen on it you want. Like we normally go for like a semi-gloss. This one here is almost glossed it up a little bit too much, as you can see. I'll just lift it up so you can see the difference between the kind of the matte finish from the 1200 and then the gloss, which is literally a few seconds of the machine polisher. So I'm going to do it with what's it called? It's just literally a cut and shine, which is everyday items off the shelf. which is like a car polish. You can do, there's no particular brand of issue, but it just needs to be like a polish that's a cut, has got a cut as well. It's got the little cutting fibres in it. Good old fashioned hand hone. So like I say, the more time you give it, the more you'll reap the results of whether it will be higher sheen or more matte, satin, whatever you want. So I'm just doing this really quite quickly. I've spent hours on all sorts of different finishes. Thanks for watching.